Welcome welcome all to episode 281 of the Xbox Expansion Pass, recorded on Saturday, July 12th, 2025. I'm your host, Luke Lohr, the Insipid Ghost, joined by my co-host, the Intrepid Captain Logun. Joining us as well, Joseph Moran, Mr. Badbit of PlayStation Trophy Room Podcast. I don't even know how to say it anymore. He's here to talk about the many firings and cancellations of this past week, and how about PlayStation is probably totally also dead because they're putting their games on Xbox. As always, we hope you enjoy the show. Logan, we like to start the show by offering words of kindness to those who have made our gaming weeks better. But first, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. We took off last week because it was my birthday weekend, and I was going out to San Francisco the day that we were going to normally be recording, because San Francisco has a Nintendo store now. And that was like my plan, was like, hey, HX coming into town. We're going to have a 4th of July celebration. We're going to celebrate my birthday. And then little like wedged right in between there, we're going to do a trip out to San Francisco to go check out the Super Nintendo store from third-party publisher Nintendo.
That's cool, man. Was it fun?
Yeah, did you get anything?
I did get a fair amount of stuff. I'm not proud of how much I spent, but it's one of those, like, I wanted to get it because I was there. I didn't get
birthday, man.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get stuff that was like too unique to the Nintendo store, I think, which was my regret. But the stuff that I wanted, they were out of stock on. So I was like, that's killer. So next on the docket is when I move out east, I'm going to make a trip out to New York, and I'm going to go check out the Nintendo store out there.
That's right.
I've been there.
I get both.
Yeah, when I'm in New York, I always try to make it like an opportunity that I stop at the Nintendo store. I just look around, and I truly never buy much, but I do want the Donkey Kong plush. I want that.
I almost bought the hoodie, the Donkey Kong hoodie with the fluffy Donkey Kong hair. Almost bought that, man. That was nice.
Genuinely, I'm tempted to go to the Nintendo store this week for the Donkey Kong launch, because I've never seen how they do it. Yeah, so I don't know. I think I might treat myself.
That might be a fun experience just to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just do that.
But that was my week that we missed. That we were gone and stuff. We didn't get to. I was having fun when everyone else was like, "Oh, great! I get to update my resume." So,
True. Yeah, it was a rough week of firings, but happy birthday nonetheless. You are 53 years old, and you look 56, and that's great, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Joseph Moran, #1 super fan, my bestie. How are you, buddy?
I mean, #1 Superman fan. You know, there's never been a Superman fan quite as patient as I.
Oh my God, I hate you.
But alas, I'm here watching a fantastic Superman movie. So good that I got tickets for round 2 tomorrow.
Nice.
We're gonna do it in the D-box seats over at Cinemark. I've never sat in those seats. It's supposed to shake and stuff.
Oh, neat.
So
I'm like, a moderate experience.
I'm prepared for it to be a moderate experience for sure. But I'm like, you know what? They're in a good spot. It's a packed theater, but they're in a good spot. So I'm like, whatever. What's $20?
It'll be one of the experiences of all time.
Exactly. And that's what listen, #1 Superman fan doesn't watch that movie once. You know what I mean? He watches it twice opening weekend. So
I think I saw it before you, though, just for the record.
Sure.
That's why he's the most patient.
Yeah, exactly. You couldn't wait. I was just like, no, I'm gonna enjoy myself.
He knows how to savor. That's the difference.
Exactly.
That's fair. Well, real quick, before we go too far into our Superman conversation, which I do want to have, and it's one of our questions this week, I want to give a shout out to our chat who is arriving in because we were off last week. It's always good to see people showing back up. Good to see Clutch Kwando in the house. The wonderful A-Chick is here. My buddy Grayson Gooding in the chat. I hope you're doing well, bud. And X Bacon Gaming in the house, and of course Nisa Hauer is here as well. And I know people are starting to trickle in as I ping it out into socials, and actually I need to let our Discord know that we're live now.
Dang.
Yeah, but it's good to see everybody. So Superman is out. Big deal, I think, because tangentially it will be related to games eventually. If DC can get on track, then might actually see more in the gaming space for a critically underserved platform. So, yeah, well, Superman's out. I've gone to see it. Joe's gone to see it. Captain Logan, do you have any plans to see this?
I'm probably gonna hold off for reasons. It's looking at the number
You
of
saw that
films
he was an immigrant and you were out. I get it.
Well, it's one of those things. It's either I watch a zombie movie or I go watch a Superman movie. Or there was like another one that just recently came out that I was like, oh, I want to go see that in theaters. There's a lot of movies this week, and homie here is trying to save up so that I can go actually like move across country, which is a very expensive thing. So that aside from just not having time, I'm probably gonna have to hold off. I got to see Jurassic World this last weekend, and I was like, okay, I got my movie fix in, and I just probably won't get to go see Superman. Looking forward to it, but I don't know. I just haven't gotten a chance. Probably won't get a chance.
He heard what the Fox 5 had to say about it. I get it.
Yeah. He's like, oh, not my Super. Too political. Is this alien?
I know how to be tactful about that.
I'm excited for people to love this and love DC and seemingly just enjoy something that I love anyway. And I hope it does make its way into the gaming space. You know, we're seeing the Fortnite stuff go active, which is nice. But in general, I just want more games in this space. So hoping that ignites something on some level, just cause. And Joe, just for the record, I watched Sinners yesterday. I enjoyed it.
Ooh, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
1 second. Dog's making noise. 1 second. I'll be right back.
You're good. I'm gonna start us off on our first topic then. All right.
I watched Sinners.
Oh well, he's been on my case to watch it.
That's all. Okay. All right. So it's only because he does it that you have to rub it in his face. I see. Okay.
Let's see, Logan. We like to start the show with words of kindness. I'm going to give a shout out to a friend of ours, Carly Posts, over on Blue Sky and now our Discord. Just was seeing some toxic stuff on Blue Sky. She wasn't enjoying that, so she's taking a nice little social media break. Don't know if she listens, but I do indeed hope that she's doing well. I just want to give her a shout out because she always makes my gaming week better when I see her posts. So shout out.
Also, I would like to shout her out as well, and I just apologize for all the mean tweets Luke's been sending her way. But take the time you need. Take the time you need.
Yeah,
he says some real mean stuff.
Bye, Grayson. Good to see you, buddy. You're the man. One of my buds. Let's see, Logan. Who's your words of kindness this week, bud?
I'm PTK Blam. Reached out this week and asked if I could swing by the Shop podcast tomorrow. So I am going to be over on the Shop podcast tomorrow. I believe it's going to be 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Mm-hmm. So head over to the Shop podcast if you guys get a chance. I'll be hanging out with PTK as well as I'm trying to think of who else.
Probably Fuzzy.
Fuzzy probably going to be on there. There was someone else that was like, who was it?
I don't know.
Me.
Umbra. Umbra's going to be on there as well too. So I'll be hanging out with them, chatting games as well too. So looking forward to chilling with those guys. Good crew.
Cool. Nice. Joe, you got any words of kindness, my friend?
None. Go watch Superman.
All right, there you go. You jerk. All right, let's see here. All right, first up, guys, we brought Joseph Moran on as comedic relief, of course, but also to talk about Helldivers 2 arriving to Xbox. This is going to be happening on August 26th, the same day that Gears of War arrives on PlayStation. What's interesting about Helldivers 2 is this is the first PlayStation game that is published by PlayStation to end up on Xbox. You might be thinking MLB The Show. That's actually published by MLB. Of course, we also have the caveat that Lego Horizon arrived onto Switch. That was published by Sony. But we really do see an effort from Sony to get their content into more places. There begs a number of questions, and I'm sure you guys have comments for me, but just for some details here, the developer came out and said they have no plans to come to Game Pass. This will be a $40 standard edition, $60 Super Citizen edition, similar to how it launched onto PlayStation. There are new packs coming out for this all the time. My questions for you, Logan, is Are you planning to snag this? And if so, which edition? And Joe, given that it's crossplay, are we diving back in?
Absolutely, we're diving back in. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, all right, for democracy. Yeah.
I see. My goodness.
So
Logan?
I already own this.
Mhm.
I've been playing this for year so now. Like it's been in Steam forever since launch. So I picked it up there. I did my tours for Super Earth. You know, you guys both fail. This is the salute. You should know better.
Come
on,
raising the fit.
Joseph. If anything, like, come on.
I woke up an hour ago.
So did I. So what's your excuse now?
No, dude.
Helldivers 2 coming to Xbox is what a lot of people over on Xbox have been wanting, because it's something that, like, we saw how fun that was. We saw the parody that they were making, you know, the joke about, like, you know, Starship Troopers and stuff, and we were wanting this for a long time. So the fact that it's finally coming over to Xbox is fantastic. As a PC Master Race person, I feel like I'm spoiled because I just, you know, if it's a game that's coming out, I'm probably going to get it through Steam or Xbox app or something, like, you know, somewhere where I'm already playing games. So I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, if not for the PC, I feel like I would be jumping day one into this, because there's a lot of fun to be had. They're coming out with their, it's not like a Portal, like it's tangentially related to Portal, but it's not like a proper Portal like game like reference. It's not like Portal. They're not putting Aperture Games into Helldivers 2, but there's a new War Bond that's coming out. I think it might actually be out already. I haven't checked.
I think it just came out.
Yeah, they have like a warp pack that you can like warp through bugs and like just teleport and blink into stuff. They've got a ton of new weapons. They've got a new laser turret that I can't wait to see in action. But dude, yeah, Helldivers is still strong. They're still always struggling with the balance of like the power fantasy versus the challenge. But Helldivers 2 is a solid game. It was, I feel like it was like up there on my game of the year list when it came out. It's just nice that Xbox is finally getting it. The fact that this is Sony published and that they're actually bringing it over, that it's, you know, it's not developed by an in-house studio, but it is a second party game. It seems like this is like their continuance of multiplayer being spread out so that they can try and reinforce, like, you know, there's reasons to buy multiplayer games on PlayStation consoles that aren't third party to start with, and that they're trying to ensure that we are going to be able to have like people to play with on the regular cadence kind of thing.
The X Bacon Gaming, good buddy of ours, drops a $2 super chat, says third party, let's go. That definitely seems to be the name of the game across the board for everybody else. And I agree with you that Sony is making a play here to get more people involved in its live service elements and to its multiplayer elements and to keep people flowing. But I do think third party is the direction for everybody. If Square Enix is getting on board with that, then I think whatever trend was set by Xbox years ago about putting your stuff other places, Sony is going to be slow to the market. Nintendo's slower to the market in terms of getting their stuff third party. But this is the way of the future, particularly as hardware becomes less and less relevant going forward, much to my chagrin, I might add. But I think it's really cool to see Helldivers arriving into Xbox. I plan to get the Super Citizen Edition. I did the same thing over on PlayStation. I'm bummed there's no cross progression. That is kind of a bummer. I can't like bring over what I got there. That to me is kind of a failing, but I also, so it goes. Nonetheless, I'm really excited by this, and I plan to be dropping in a lot. This is a game that you can play really fun solo, and even better when you got your friends, just picking your difficulty. And I'm stoked, man. This is fun. I think there's a lot of opportunity for more goodness to be had here in terms of crossovers, armors, and sets and stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome. I echo everything y'all just said. This is definitely a sign of, first off, PlayStation not wanting to give, this is very much PlayStation saying, hey, this is our live service game. we want the biggest return on investment on this, one of the few that have actually succeeded for us. So like you don't see them publishing out to 505 because they don't want to share the microtransaction revenue from them. So it's like, yeah, okay, that makes sense that this is published by them. And yeah, it's seemingly them, Xbox being a really good partner with this and saying, hey, launch this on the same day as Gears of War Reloaded. So I think, that Gears of War Reloaded is definitely for the PlayStation players. That's what it's focused on. It's introducing the brand to those players. Whereas Xbox, I don't think it's that important for them in terms of, if you're an Xbox gamer, come on, you've played Gears. I've played Gears of War. It's one of my favorite franchises. So it's like, it's, if I was Xbox, I would be promoting the living shit out of Helldivers 2, out of the hope that X-Bacon Gaming is right, the slim chance that they are quote unquote going third party. I think this is just it's PlayStation saying, hey, where do these IP best make sense on other platforms and which ones don't? So like when people are like, oh, next one's God of War, I'm like, okay, sure. Or whatever you say. Uncharted, absolutely. As someone who doesn't care about exclusivity, and I get it, I run a PlayStation podcast, I don't see, and I would love to be wrong, Uncharted, your God of Wars, even your Horizons, I don't see them coming to Xbox. I see the multiplayer games coming day one.
Well, let me make
sense. Yeah.
Let me interrupt you, Joe, and then I'm going to ask you to continue your thought. But because Anubis wrote in on our Patreon exclusive Discord and said, what do you think the next PlayStation title coming to is to come to Xbox? I think Lego Horizon is the clear next, but after that is anybody's guess. I think he's on to something with Lego Horizon, but go ahead, Joe. Continue your thought, please.
Marathon, Fair Games, like those make a lot of sense. They're multiplayer. I think PlayStation gets a lot of the metrics from MLB The Show to see where players are at on the Xbox side of things. I think the Lego games make a whole lot of sense for, them to come to Nintendo for sure. Is there it's the information we don't have that Matt maybe could, Matt Piscatella could. It was like, how well do Lego games sell on Xbox and PC? Because like truly, like Sackboy Big Adventure is wasted on PC. It's like bring that game over to Nintendo Switch too. I've said this a lot. I said this on last week's episode of the Trophy Room. Like the rumored Little Big Planet game, remaster or remake, whatever they're doing over at Media Molecule, that should be very close to
Logan,
day
what are you
one
doing?
launch on the Nintendo Switch too.
Is Logan? Yeah, I don't know.
We're talking about the next game to come over to Xbox. I'm trying to showcase like what trailer.
Okay.
Yikes. I love the idea of Fair Games or Marathon because it's logical and it makes sense. I don't love it because like I don't plan to play either one of those. I have no interest in Marathon whatsoever.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, like,
gonna win.
Sathius says it. The ones that make sense to jump are anything that's like a license. So Spider-Man and Wolverine, when those licenses are up, yeah, they're going other places. For
Sony
sure.
letting go of the Spider-Man license. Are you mad?
No, they would.
No.
They would never. Yeah.
I see a world where Spider-Man does make a jump, but not necessarily because it makes sense to be on Xbox, but because it makes sense to be everywhere. You know what I mean? And there's no harm, no foul in putting Spider-Man 1 on Switch 2 on Xbox. Like that doesn't hurt them at all. If anything, for better or worse, Xbox taught the market this. They taught them that it's okay to be day and date on PC. It's okay to put your older titles other places. There's a reason Forza Horizon 5 sold so well on PlayStation. There's a reason that Sea of Thieves charted so well on PlayStation. Once you've gotten the max you can get out of, what up, Web Dave? Good to see you, bud. Once you've gotten the max out of your audience, why not expand it? So that's just something to be had. I want to shout out Clutch Kwando, an incredible supporter of our channel, and somebody who, and I'll talk about it later, upped his Patreon tier to tier 3. Thank you so much. Clutch Kwando says, if the rumors are true that the next Xbox will have Steam, PlayStation games will be on Xbox regardless. And that's kind of what I'm getting at is there's no harm, no foul at this point. It's just a matter of, do they want to build a port? If you're building a PC port, well, then you've got an Xbox version. It's a matter of resources, you know? So there's something to that. Web Dave, it's really good to see you. And I will give Web Dave another shout out because we met him in person while we were in LA. One of the nicest human beings I've ever seen, and just jumped in. Could not have been more helpful to anybody that needed it while he was there. It was awesome.
Incredibly generous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love you.
So I do see a world where Spider-Man goes. I'm not saying that like Spider-Man 3 and Wolverine are day and date. That's not what I mean. There's no reason to do that. There's not enough install base to put the resources into building it. But if you've got a PC version and the next Xbox is using them, you kind of don't get a choice. So why fight it? You're only getting more people. And if you look at, a lot of people talk about Game Pass, and that's going to be one of our bigger topics in a moment. Who cares if someone is accessing it if they're paying for it? They're giving you money. There's something to that. So,
I think we've seen PlayStation push the idea of PlayStation publishing a lot in the last year, and to great success. So they are porting this game to Xbox. They also made a huge deal of Stellar Blade heading to PC, even putting it on the PNG images on their State of Play, even down to Marvel Token. Like, put Marvel Token on Xbox, go for it. But you saw them at PlayStation and PC. So you're seeing they are branching out. PlayStation's Sony's CFO has talked about making PlayStation a leaner company, and they want to improve margins on these games. This is exactly how you do it. So I do see this as one day, Bacon, you will be correct. PlayStation will be full third party. You will see them on everything, but everything's going to be very different to what you think it's going to be. So in a world where we're talking about, PlayStation's, Xbox is, will the next generation be the last? PlayStation isn't in that conversation. They still see the incentive of having the plastic box, and they still see the incentive of making these games exclusive. They're just trying to toy with the definition of exclusive, right? So I would push back just a scotch to say exclusives are still very important. And it's the reason why, people are going out there and buying Nintendo Switch 2s in record number. But at the same exact time, if you're a publisher like Sony, your games are getting more and more and more expensive to make, and the games are currently hitting a ceiling. So we just found out Ghost of Tsushima sold 13 million units. That's an awesome number to hit, especially if you are on a single platform and now just 2 platforms. So if they're like, hey, listen, maybe 3 years down the line or whatever, or next year or 6 months ago, hey, Days Gone is on Xbox, go for it, right? So I think again, the way the market is currently, it's a very murky place. So I would say never, but remain skeptical.
I'm looking forward to that kind of eventuality, because honestly, there's something special about the Ghost series, that seeing what Sucker Punch has done and seeing the efforts that they're making, especially with Yotai, I'm excited to see that come out. And I was debating whether or not it would be something that I picked up on Steam because I have a more powerful PC than I do a PlayStation 5, or if I wanted to have that kind of native experience on PlayStation. I'm looking forward to the day where I'm like, I could actually pick this up on my Xbox, or I could pick this up on my Switch 2 kind of thing, and be able to have those experiences. I did want to jump in and just say that I do think that it is a shame that Sony has yet to announce The Last of Us Part 1 Xbox edition for us to have that experience crossover, because they have to come out with we're 6 months away from the Last of Us announcement. We need another announcement of another version of The Last of Us. And I feel like The Last of Us Part 1 remastered Xbox edition is the way to go. Bring it over, start pumping them out, start giving us the collections, and then we'll eventually get to 2 years from now where we'll have the whole Xbox version of it, and then we can port it over to Switch too, and then they can just keep pumping out The Last of Us.
Yeah. Oh, I'm being called for something, but keep it going, boys.
Yep. So this is a tangential topic in that we saw a lot of conversations this past week about Game Pass, about what Game Pass means, about what Game Pass is doing to the industry, for the industry. A lot of people going back and forth. Christopher Dring got a lot of attention, seen on GameIndustry.biz. He also does his own thing at thegamebusiness.com. There's a lot of interesting stuff here and we had Matt Piscatella on the show actually just before SGF talking about consumer spending. And essentially the long and the short of it is that consumers, particularly in America, but worldwide, don't have as much money to spend. They do not have as much money to spend because food costs are going up, residence costs are going up. And so their availability for income to be spent on video games is less. So as a result, they're seeing spending in the gaming space go down a bit. There's also the interesting element that consumers now, young kids now, have access to video games for free, provided they have a screen, in a way that is not even remotely comparable to what was happening 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, and for the graybeards, 30, 40, 50 years ago. So when you look at the availability of video games for young people, they are used to that free price tag. And that free price tag means other ways and methods of spending. Now, I find this all super interesting because you're looking at Xbox essentially having to adapt and change their model to survive. Game Pass was brought in as a result of slumping Xbox One sales, Xbox One not performing against PlayStation, and essentially chasing the beat because the Xbox 360 era died and people adopted the PlayStation 4 and got their digital libraries in. So Xbox was trying to build a digital library into everybody's catalog via Game Pass and get them to subscribe and get those ongoing numbers like Netflix. Whether or not this was successful or not is very debatable. But I have to say, after reading and watching the discourse on socials, on podcasting spaces, enthusiast press, journalists, pseudo-journalists, fanboys, whatever else it is, it doesn't matter if you're the consumer and you have access to something you like and you enjoy it. So whether you want to purchase your games, access them via Game Pass or whatever else, you should do it. And you should not worry about what you're doing to the greater industry past a certain point. Because if you're using an iPhone, you're drinking Coca-Cola, then you're part of a problem. What problem do you want to be a part of? What do you not want to be a part of? So I've realized that's a very meta discussion, Logan. But like some of these people are acting as though they are invested personally in Game Pass.
Yeah.
And what they do is determining everything. It's like, no. Somewhere along the way, Logan, I stopped being an Xbox fan. I'm not an Xbox fan. I'm a Halo, Gears.
It's going to get clipped.
That's fine. I'm no longer an Xbox fan. It stopped a while ago, but I'm a Gears of War fan. I'm a Halo fan. I love Doom. I love, what I love. But it stopped being Xbox a while ago because the Xbox of a while ago is gone. And that's okay. That is change. That is normal.
Do you feel like that's because they killed what your idea of an Xbox was?
Who's they?
Xbox.
Yes. I think Xbox did kill what I thought Xbox was at one point, and they needed to. This is I'll quote it. Let the past die, kill it if you have to. They truly had to, because there was no way they were going to compete in traditional avenues with Nintendo, with Sony, hell, even with Amazon. They had to change in order to survive. And now, as a result of it, you're getting Gears Reloaded on PlayStation. You're seeing new games come to pass. You're seeing more doubling down on some of their properties that may not have existed. We're getting a new Halo next year, theoretically. You know what I mean? Like, we are. So like, what? There's a lot of ways to examine it, and I will not make light of 9,000 people being fired so that Microsoft can invest in AI. Go to hell, Satya. Like, you suck, you asshole. Like, I just can't stand that. But Xbox did kill the idea of Xbox. and consumers need to go and decide where to spend their money. And I love what current Xbox is looking to provide, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I am. I'm excited for this portable where I can get these multiple storefronts. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for what the next under TV box might be. But I'm skeptical too. But I don't think we should be narrating anything as though Game Pass is the worst thing ever all of a sudden when, shoot, in 2025, Doom the Dark Ages, South of Midnight, Oblivion Remaster, Space Marine Remake is on there. Tony Hawk just came out. Firebreak is there. You're getting Gears Reloaded and Grounded 2. You got Ninja Gaiden Black 2 and you're getting Ninja Gaiden 4. Outer Worlds 2 is coming in. You got, what is it? High on Life 2 is arriving. Like, Game Pass rocks for the consumer. And the consumer need not worry about what these trillion-dollar companies worry about.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
I like genuinely, truly, who gives a shit? Like that. Like, I mean it through it's a compliment to Game Pass that we keep on having these conversations of, hey, how does this thing make money? And that just speaks to the value that you get with the subscription, right? Like, I never ask about, like, I don't know how much my game costs when it's a good game. It's just like, I don't know. I'm tired of these conversations. Seems like quarter we have either does Game Pass make money? It can't really make money, right? To where's Xbox's identity? It's like, Jesus Christ. And now we can have that conversation because they just fired a heck of a lot of people. But like, to me, it's like those conversations are so stupid and reductive, and just everybody shows their whole ass when they talk about it. Because like, genuinely, like, if I'm having a good time, I don't care about how much money. Like, I love my iPhone. I don't know the stock price of Apple, and I don't care. You know what I mean? It's just
correct. That's what I'm getting at.
Why are we concerning ourselves with such like dumb conversations?
Freight Conductor, Game Pass is the easy boogeyman to explain the games industry woes, followed by Clutch Kwando. In terms of consumer value, Game Pass is second to none.
Right.
Fully agree.
Yeah.
Fully agree.
And I'm the PlayStation guy that doesn't own it and going, yeah, no, this is great. Right. And I think when we hear developers talk about it, I think it comes down to like, did they see the return on investment when their game went on Game Pass? And I think some of them did and some of them didn't. And I understand the being skeptical of the future of the service, because it does seem like, the wallet is dad's being more strict with the wallet than usual, right? I get that. But to say right now, Christopher Drink saying one thing and then saying the complete utter opposite puzzle speak, it wasn't needed, and I think it was a very big mistake on his part. Made me lose a bit of respect for the man.
Logan,
it's always interesting to me that people want to use Game Pass as the scapegoat, because we've, over the years, multiple studios have come out and said Game Pass is killing the industry. Game Pass has made my company succeed. And it's always anecdotal. The only people that really know the numbers about this are the people that are saying that Game Pass is fine. And that's Xbox. And until the day comes when Satya says, all right, well, we need to invest more into robots for our AI because they want to have bodies and military weapons. We will not see them cut off Game Pass. And as a consumer, I don't think anyone should care whether it's sustainable or not. You're going into Game Pass with the understanding that you are going to be playing a game that is accessible only through the subscription model. You're not going into Game Pass thinking, I own these games. If you are, you really need to check yourself, because it's just like playing for Nintendo Switch Online. Nobody sits there and says Nintendo Switch Online, their back catalog not being available to purchase through their store. That is unsustainable. They are never going to be able to make the money that they made on the Wii when they introduced the Wii Shop. This is ridiculous. So
you don't own what you watch on Netflix.
Yeah. And everyone seems comfortable with that as well too. Nobody's sitting there looking at the PlayStation games on PS Plus and thinking like, oh, I own these games. No, you own a right to play them as long as you are subscribed and you claim them. That is how that works. That is not you owning those games. That is you claiming the right to use them as long as you continue to pay for the service. So when people sit there and say this is unsustainable, who cares? If you feel like it's not sustainable, buy physical, stick with Sony because they're the only ones that are making physical games anymore outside of Nintendo. And even then Nintendo's third party is Nintendo's. Don't even get me on the whole Nintendo third party thing because they've been doing that since the Switch one. And it seems like a new concept for folks that are getting into Nintendo. They're like, what's a game card? I don't understand.
I don't know, man. There are a lot of third party devs coming out saying they're not happy with their sales on Switch 2, despite the big install base off the bat.
Maybe because content creators went out there and started to lambast the game key stuff.
So now content creators are the problem?
Also, yes.
Nintendo's the problem.
No, I think it's like Nintendo, a culmination of like when
it's publishers. Yeah. It's publishers that decided that they didn't want to put their game on the cart. If they wanted to sell well, they should look at Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk put their entire game and the expansion on their cart. It sold really well. What's the problem here? Is it the people that are complaining that their game isn't doing well because they didn't put the game on the cart and that's the expectation for most Nintendo fans? Is it Nintendo for not mandating it? Is it content creators for saying that this is a bad system?
Okay, question. If memory serves, and I beg correction here, so chat, keep me honest. The Switch 2 carts are only like 64 gigs, which means that in order to get your game on there, you got to do a massive amount of optimization, and some studios may not have the resources for that. Am I correct in that?
64 is one of the cart sizes. I don't know if that's the highest or the lowest, but that is one of the cart sizes.
Yeah. So, and the cart is extremely expensive to make.
Mm-hmm.
So, listen, when it comes to that, I'm no Nintendo expert. We're on an Xbox podcast. I would say, though, at the end of the day, it's a combination of like all those things. I don't think the key card, like, I didn't give a shit about I don't care. I'm playing it portably. I don't care. I think the problem is like when we talk about like some developers think, well, who's saying it? Is it Square Enix? It's probably Square. Like, who's the guy that's like, it's not selling well? And you take a look at who's developed for the Switch 2 so far. You got Sega, you got CD Projekt, and you got Square Enix. And Square Enix is, as we all know, isn't happy with literally anything. So I would say, listen, I think this whole week has seen or this whole month has kind of highlighted an issue with the games media and all this content creators lump them in there too. Is we see this story, we go, oh, a source said a thing, and then we run out and we make the content for it, where it's like, no, you need context and you need more than one source. Get back here. Mm-hmm. And then you go, all right, it's probably Square Enix. Well, they've never been happy with anything that's ever launched on there. Mm-hmm. And then you take a look at whatever's happening with Romero Games, and you're like, it was one guy, and that was a news story for one whole day that did a whole lot of damage and confused a whole lot of people. So there's blame to go around for everybody.
Yep. Go ahead, Logan, please.
Just to kind of round out my thoughts on the whole Game Pass and sustainability thing. I think it's one of these things where play it, use it, abuse the system as much as you can, because they're all corporations at the end of the day. If you're getting value out of it and you want to get as much value as you possibly can, push, get as much value as that, use the discount, buy the Game Pass Ultimate as cheap as you can get it. Like, you're the consumer. They're not your buddies. Just take care of yourself first, enjoy what you can, and leave the rest up to the people that are going to decide when and if this is something that they're going to kill. The comment that they what was the quote that said that it was where did I put model? It was an unsustainable model, but there was another quote that was part of that from the Arcane co-founder.
Game Pass is an unsustainable model that has been increasingly damaging the industry for a decade, subsidized by Microsoft's infinite money. But at some point, At some point, reality has to hit. I don't think Game Pass can coexist with other models. They'll either kill everyone else or give up, end quote. And that was Arcane co-founder Ralph Colantonio.
I'm glad you attempted that one.
Thank you.
So they say it can't exist, or it can coexist with other. It can't coexist with other models. It'll either kill everyone or give up. The finality of like this infinite timeline that people speak to. It's like, when has anything ever persisted beyond taxes and death? Mm-hmm. Like we have always, something will always end eventually.
Like, well, I don't plan on dying, and I've never paid my taxes.
The unicorn he is.
Hi, Ice. Yeah, hi.
How was the knock at my door? How did you know? I just wanted to ask a few questions.
Moran, if you don't mind, we'd like to talk to you a little bit about your tax predicament. We see that you're good friends with Wesley Snipes.
That's right. He taught me everything I know. Why? What's up? What's wrong with Wes?
I think it's one of these things where, yes, eventually Microsoft will decide that they don't want to continue investing in Game Pass. I think that at that time, there will most likely be an alternative that will be as good, if not different, in a way that will still serve customers in some manner until the day comes when they just decide to cut off Xbox and gaming in general and decide to move into manufacturing robots with AI and that know how to have military training. Like, we don't know what's going to happen, but to make these lambast comments about, oh, it's going to kill everyone or give up. It's like, what kind of black and white thinking is that?
This strikes me as the 2025 argument that is 15 years later, because I feel like Mr. Colantonio would have been, if we were 15 years back, been like, it's GameStop that's ruining video games. It's unsustainable. Right. They're selling used games. They're doing this. They're not any profit. It's the exact same idea, and the market shifts and changes, but it's the same stuff. Like, every used game sold by GameStop did not give developers money. And while that's not great for the industry, the bigger problem is, and I want to shout out, I think it was Steven Totila who graphed it, the vast amount of money made between the developers and the executives in gaming. Why is Andrew Wilson ever getting a bonus ever?
Right. Ever.
That's your bigger issue, not Game Pass, not whether games are $60, $70, or $80, not tiered pricing models for Helldivers at $40 or $50, $60. It's the amount of money made by the executives that is just astronomically high, unnecessarily so. And then Microsoft needs to lay off 9,000 people. A majority happens to be in the Xbox division here, but this happens in multiple industries well outside of gaming because you have executives making bigger monies. And the problem is it trickles down and hits. But as consumers, I think there is a responsibility to acknowledge that as being a major issue versus Game Pass is the death of everything. Crossplay is a problem. Crossplay used to be the bigger issue. Save the kids, remember? Like, we pick these narratives to be angry about when there are bigger, more apt issues in play.
Yeah, agreed.
It sounded good, also, right? That was a good soundbite. Thank you.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, you're gonna put that on a YouTube short. Here's the thing. The other thing I do want to highlight.
I'm not
there yet.
Captain Logun has talked about murder robots and Microsoft making murder robots several times.
They will.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say, honestly, that sounds like a cool ass future, man. You know, if that was the apocalypse, that's the apocalypse I want. You know,
the main thing is that we just have to figure out how to get them to blue screen of death, like before they murder us. Like, it's just that the movie is there. Like, Microsoft.
No, dude, I want to listen. Let me be clear when I say this. I want everybody to be like racist against robots, and we call them names like metalheads. You know what I mean? Like clankers or something like that. You know?
Can we go with clankers? Because I actually like metalhead. I think metalhead is actually kind of a good one. But can we call
metalhead's a character in TMNT?
Bucket's a bucket of bolts, and you're like, did you just call me a BOS?
Rust bucket.
Yeah.
You think Bolt starts with S?
Oh shit! You know what?
Look at this guy over here trying to be the Iron Giant.
Oh, it's gonna go. It's been fun. I got another knock at my door. Hopefully.
Star Wars taught us in 1977. We don't serve their kind here.
Exactly,
the real thing. Droids outside.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, it's no longer a blue screen of death. That's right. Microsoft changed that. They didn't want that stereotype anymore.
Thanks a lot, Satya.
Yeah, way to do it, Sadia. Oh man.
What is it like? Green?
No, it's black. It's black. Good to see you, Gentle Stone. Mr. Glass, good to see you. Clutch Kwando pointing out there's already security bots on Microsoft's campus.
Are there really?
He would know.
Can I a quick little aside? I took one of them, one of those automated driving Waymo things in San Francisco. Took a couple trips in one of those. That thing, it's actually really cool. It's actually really, really cool. Like the way it figured out how to do stuff. Cause we had a fire truck. We had multiple fire trucks. They had a road closure. They had people cutting us off. They had people walking in the streets. There was a lot like people opening doors on the side of the streets. Dude, it not only did it navigate it well, but it intuitively worked out like how to get around stuff. And when it was like stuck, it was cautious, but still eventually proceeded. It didn't just get like stuck completely. And I was like, dude, this, still throw some safety cones if you need to like trap it, but it's pretty cool, dude. I was like, I kind of want all cars to do this because I'm tired of people sucking at driving.
Fair.
Logan
wants, he wants to take your jobs, everybody.
Yeah.
Logan's pro take the taxi jobs away. All right, let's see here. I want to talk about
take all driving away from everyone.
Oh, before we talk about our or shout out our patrons and go to different topics, one of the things I wanted to point out, and I wore the shirt today on purpose, Romero Games. It was incorrectly reported that Romero Games was shutting down because their mystery publisher, who is yet to be named but is totally obvious as Microsoft. You can even go back and listen to, and I did clip out the short and put it up on our channel. You can even go back and listen to John Romero when he was on this show talk about how great Game Pass and Microsoft was prior to this. So their project has been put on hold, essentially. They do not have a publisher right now, but other publishers have reached out to kind of fill that void. So the Romero Games project is not canceled as of right now. However, they had employed through their publisher about 100 people working on this project. It was a shooter, is a shooter. And it was from like Brendan and John Romero, John Romero from Doom, Brendan Romero from a number of things. The project escapes me, but it was really interesting to see that happen and be misreported by a few different people. Nonetheless, go check out those little YouTube shorts I put on the XEP channel because it's very interesting to hear John Romero talk about Game Pass and Microsoft prior to this. And I have a feeling if I ask this question again, what the answer would be quite different. But I did reach out and send condolences and kindness to them, and they responded very quickly, which I thought was cool. All right, Logan, I want to talk about a couple things Patreon wise. I want to shout out Clutch Kwando for upgrading to tier 3. Thank you, Clutch Kwando. We appreciate you, my friend, for supporting us over at patreon.com/Xbox Expansion Pass, as well as Matto1606, who had dropped out for a month and then resubbed back in at tier 2. So thank you, Matto1606. You are helping keep the lights on, the content coming. And of course, we hope you've enjoyed all of our preview content that came out of SGF, all of our podcast discussions coming out of SGF. The reviews that we do, we really appreciate it. All of those, the $1, the likes, the shares, the tiers, all of that. It just helps us do what we love, and we appreciate you. So thank you. Coming up in the coming weeks, I'm currently using a Razer Wolverine Pro Tournament Edition, which is the wired version of their Wolverine controller. I'm working on a review for that. It's fantastic. I will just tell you. It is amazing. I've made it my daily driver the last week, and I've loved it. Even being wired, it's the best controller I've ever used, bar none. I'm not even worried about an Elite 3 at this point. Give me the next Wolverine. I'm here for it. Shout out to Razer for that one. And then I have a new SteelSeries headset on the way for their budget line that I'm interested to check out for those of us that might be, trying to, it's like $100 headset, good quality, and see where it ends up. So that's what I'm looking at there as far as upcoming content. Logan, would you mind reading our patrons this week?
Sure. As always, head over to patreon.com/Xbox Expansion Pass if you guys want to support this content and help us with future endeavors. It always helps kind of making sure that the bills are paid as these producers continue to help ensure that things like StreamYard, Luke's obsession with toys, my obsession with sugar, things like that are all kind of satiated throughout the week and the month. It definitely makes a difference to be able to hit those lines of sugar and chocolate whenever I need to. Luke always has a really good, folks whenever he needs to like send something over to me, he always makes sure to do that. And he also helps take care of Joseph's, what is the
Built
I forget
bars.
what it's called. Oh gosh, when dad leaves and mom has to get support.
When my dad goes get milk, and Mr. Luke is so nice that he keeps my
Child
mommy
support.
company.
Yes.
All I asked was for you to read the Patreon names. That's all it was.
Okay. Well, in that case,
God.
let's do the tier 2 and tier 3 shout outs. Thank you to Matto 1606, Clutch Quando, Omen, Jesse Perez, Fado, Aaron G, Nick Bentley, The Scarecrow, Ken Rosling, Fabian Winkler, Regis Stella, the Brony Pirate, Rob Frawley II, Tao Zochi, Nicholas Johnson, Randolph Thor 19, African, Game Positive, Jam Pack Sam, Matt Valdez, Red Beast, Dano 12, DJ Hero, Brendan Myers, aka The Winter Gamer, the Lord Sir Master James Suddy, and Sony's VP of Marketing, Kevin Butler. Thank you so much for everyone who has been hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Hope you guys are having a good rest of your week as well, too.
Well, I'm banning somebody off of our little chat there.
Come on.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Logan, for reading those names.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. I
That's the first
appreciate
thing
them
I've had to
helping with
ever.
the child support.
Yep. There you go. All right, guys. So let's see here. Oh, amidst these cancellations, amidst the firings were cancellations. So as Microsoft lets go 9,000 people, massive hits to the Xbox division, Perfect Dark, Everwild, and Project Blackbird, which is the MMO coming out of ZeniMax Studios Online, have been canceled, shuttered, and they are done. Seemingly, Blade appears safe. Halo Remake appears safe. And I mentioned Romero Games project is kind of in limbo as they search for a publisher, so it's tangentially related. But Perfect Dark is gone. Everwild is gone. Blackbird is gone.
Everwild?
It's gone, buddy.
Everwild's gone?
I told you it was gone. I told you weeks ago, and you were like, no, Luke, it's not. There's no way. It's gone. It's gone.
But it's Everwild.
Nope, it's not. It's Neverwild. Boys, do we have any emotional ties to this? I think it's a bummer to see, but the more I learned about Perfect Dark, the less bothered I am that it's gone. The more I learned about Everwild, the less bothered I am it's gone. But it does suck because those were games that we were going to get to play.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead, Joe?
Oh, man. Guys, all right. This is where the Sony Pony in me comes out. I just can't help it. All right.
Bring it.
10 years for these games? It's like Everwild is what was the last show? Like, my word.
2020.
Mm-hmm. When is it time that you need to just let go on the thing? Like, part of my question was like that I think to myself is like, what would have been if these games actually came out and they were actually working on either supporting that content or the sequel? What if they were proven? Would we have seen cuts so deep within that portfolio? It also angers me a lot for the developers, and it's something that we haven't seen a lot of. We've seen a lot of people defending Phil Spencer, and a lot of people, he did so good. He just laid off people that have been working on a game for 7 years that now have nothing on their resume. They cannot show even proof of concepts of what they worked on because of NDA. And those people, in an industry that everybody's already struggling to find work, holy crap, I can't show anything, that any type of animation work or artistry that come on. So there's that frustrating element of like, my heart goes out to everybody impacted. It's yet again another reminder that these CEOs do not deserve, the praise, and they deserve yet to be more scrutinized than ever. As we see these moves from a company that is bragging about, how profitable they are and how rich they are with $3 trillion. And I get it, it's not a charity, but man, on one side of the spectrum for me, it's like Satya is chasing this fad that I've already seen articles talk about how folks are disappointed with the progress of AI because it's not panning out the way they want. And at the same time of those articles, we're seeing Satya going $80 billion into this idea that we're throwing just, we're just aiming blind and throwing anything that will stick to the wall. And it's at the same exact time you see a leadership out of Xbox that has been, hey guys, take all the time you need. Don't worry. It's about the art of the game. It's about, the culture of these studios and fostering them. And this is a new Xbox. We get to do more inventive things. And then, this week it's actually you had Everwild's ain't a thing. All these projects are closed and all these people are out of a job. And, when we talk about what's the identity of Xbox, what's the identity of a company when you consistently on a yearly basis fire hundreds to thousands of them? That can't lead to a good work, balance or just good mental health at an individual level. So for me, Phil, Sarah, Booty, they can all take it. They're still working at the end of the day. They're getting that, fat check, while others are just, again, it really hurts for those teams that really put everything out on the line. And now they not only do they have nothing to show for it, they can't show a possible future employer that thing, saying, hey, maybe hire me because I can make this thing really come to life. They can't even show that. And that's the thing that it upsets me that no one's talking about. It's like how that individual is impacted more so. How's Phil Spencer doing? It's like, I don't care. I care for him as much as I care for Herman Hulse. Not a whole lot right now. And listen, it's not just Xbox, it's PlayStation. We've talked about it on the trophy room a few weeks back, where Herman Hulse was talking a whole lot about content and he was not talking about fun. We talk about that. It's like it's becoming the where art is content to be just consumed and not thought much of afterwards, and it sucks. There you
Logan,
go. That's
No, it was a very good poignant thing. I have thoughts, but I don't want to step on Logan's toes.
It's just one of these things where, like, I've been, as a fan of Rare and as a fan of Sea of Thieves, I've been waiting for Everwild to come out. It's been something that I've been like keeping track of and trying to keep tabs on, like what devs are working on it. A lot of the devs that are working on it, it's not like they have necessarily like a void in their resume. Like I was pulling up Luis O'Connor's, who's been the executive producer for Everwild since its inception, and for all intents and purposes, like they just have, she has incubation director for 3 years, and then she had executive producer for new IP. So while they can't necessarily speak to specifics of like the game that they're working on, they can say that it was something that it was a new project that they were working on. They can kind of give a bit of detail on some of it. The fact that this happened really sucks, and it really pisses me off that the thing that is driving a lot of these is them. Like we just talked about the infinite wealth that Microsoft has, and yet projects that have no end gap really should be taken a look at. And like, I get why you would kill a 10-year project if nothing has come from it and you guys aren't making as much progress as you wanted to. How long do you continue to sustain that when you're looking to try and get games produced? It sucks that there are devs that are no longer working on these games. For studios that are still open, I'm hoping that they have other projects that they can move to, because I know at least with Rare, a lot of the people that were working on Everwild are hopefully getting pushed back into the Sea of Thieves team so that they can help kind of support that. And they just had a direct recently where they talked about how their teams are growing and expanding because of reasons, and that they're going to continue like investing more into Sea of Thieves. So I'm hoping that that's the case for a lot of other studios. It just sucks that it seems like it's never ending. It seems like every single year Microsoft comes out and says that they're going to be doing more and more layoffs. And granted, they did make a very large acquisition with the ABK deal, but you would hope that Microsoft would have shored up all of this long ago and taken a look at some of those projects that were longstanding and said, okay, we need more finite timelines, or you cancel the project and start something new, not kill those people's jobs because they didn't produce something.
Yeah. And listen, while I know they can go like unannounced project at so and so company, when I take a look at like for example, like there's one indie developer, their name is escaping me, but they were on the 6-1 Indie Showcase. They were the last thing shown. It was like the Dino Blade game. And they were picked up just because of the animations that he was working on at his like one solo man studio. And so, you know, when I think of like other creative works, it's like, yeah, no, I could say on paper, yeah, I did this, this, and this, but they genuinely want to show like, if you're like a VO actor, you have like, you know, clips that you send to whoever, your agent or whoever, that then looks over your work going, okay, I think he may be a fit. Let's put him in for an audition. Or, hey, listen, I really like this piece of art they put up there, and let's bring them in for an interview, right? They can't do any of that. They can only go, hey, we worked on Everwild, or worked on unannounced game at Microsoft. And that's all they got the show for. Unless, listen, they're working on something on their side time, but at the end of the day, that's still not acceptable for, you know, Microsoft or whatever have you. So it again, it sucks. It really does. It bums me out.
There's a disassociation and an association here that I'm stuck between, because to Nisso's point earlier in the chat, asking about whether or not this stuff was coming from on high. Yes, it is. After you spend $70 billion to acquire Activision Blizzard and you gain all that court attention, you gain all this stuff, then mom and dad are going to look down on you. Mom and dad might suck. And they are definitely scrutinizing the Xbox catalog portfolio and line items in a way that it wasn't being done prior. The problem is, had it been done properly prior to, then this would be less of a hit. And that's where you go back to, like, what is Matt Booty doing? What is happening here? How is this going on? I push back a little bit, Joe, on the Phil Spencer approach, only having met him 3 times. You look at his track record. He truly, his philosophies saved Xbox from certain death and separation from Microsoft and being sold off in piecemeal. You look at Games with Gold, Game Pass, the Series set of consoles, the Xbox One S and One X, like those were his initiatives to essentially save them from a dire and drastically bad Xbox One launch. And also, having met him, you get the feeling that this is a gentleman who loves video games, which I don't think you can always say about someone like Jim Ryan. I don't think you can say it about, I can't tell with Matt Booty. I don't feel it. I definitely didn't feel it with Don Matrick. And Phil, to me, is a Shuhei Yoshida. You see these people, you can tell there is a sweetness and a goodness to them, who are absolutely golden parachuted. Don't misunderstand. I'm not like evangelizing them. We do that too often. I think that's what you're getting at.
Yep.
But I get the feeling, and I believe it was Hogue on Bitcast the other day that said this might be a gentleman who's now out of his depth, having to sit at the table with these people running Microsoft.
Yeah.
And they're scrutinizing line items. Because, I mean, Phil even said it to us, Logan. He's like, I'd rather be in my basement playing games. And I believed him. Like, there's true. Yeah, I get it. So I think there might be something to that. But bottom line, no one that is paying attention should be excusing the leadership that led to a disastrous Halo Infinite project line, even though the final product I really enjoyed. The live service elements were bad. Redfall, bad. Starfield, there's no way to not say you're disappointed. Like, Starfield is a disappointment compared to the expectations that were laid upon it. You look at it, it's been how long since Shattered Space, how long since launch, and it's still having issues. So there's no way to not critique the people that were allowing these things to happen. Sony demoted Herman Hulse.
Right.
Sony said, Shuhei, get on board or you're gone.
Right.
Sony got rid of Jim Ryan. I wonder if this isn't set to happen. You get the feeling that Sarah Bond is far more corporate than Phil Spencer by nature, by training. And for the record, I would love to interview her. She seems brilliant, talented, an incredible role model for a number of young women in the industry. I want to interview her so my students can see a female executive crushing it. She had a great interview not too long ago, actually, about leadership design, which I really enjoyed. But there is a disassociation, so I go back to it, of the common gamer consumer and what these executives do. And that graph line item, you should not be comparing the two. They exist in different worlds. Again, I think I went too meta. I think I did it again because
you definitely bring out the fidget spinner. I understand where you're coming from though. I knew you had him on hand.
Thanks.
Spectrum. That's right. Does it say it on the fidget spinner? You think?
No, it doesn't. It says XEP.
All right, mine does. There you go. Oh, they're actually fidget spinners.
No, they're just buttons.
He
could 100% start making.
He really could. Yeah, I would capitalize on this. Talk about this. No, so I definitely see where everybody's saying, because it is complicated, right? Like I've met Phil, seems like a nice chap. I've talked with you, nice young chap. All these guys, even you talking to like the marketing people that are on the side of these games being played. They're passionate. The ones that are passionate to the ones that aren't, and the ones that are passionate about what they're working on typically have the more successful thing, right? And they're more successful at pitching that thing because they're genuinely enthused about the project. And yes, like there's no doubt about it. It's complicated because our feelings are right here in the present and in the moment. Like it definitely seems like, that letter Phil Spencer wrote to staff wasn't the greatest, but I think in his head it was like, oh, I think I crushed it because like I really think this wasn't. I think he was definitely trying to write it in a way where it was like this decision wasn't mine, and it kind of backfired a little bit. I get it, nice dude, but yeah, maybe perhaps there is a time and a change in direction or leadership that is needed somewhere in that C-suite that is Matt Booty. I was gonna be subtle with it, but I really think he needs to go because, like, genuinely, to see studios outright close and then like the head of whoever is there not go with it is just a bizarre move. Because at the end of the day, the buck stops with you, pal. And when we're seeing like all these cancellations of these games and partnerships, like it really is baffling to see why is he unscathed through all of this and seemingly given more responsibilities and more studios to handle. It's just like it's frustrating to see because every time we talk about it, oh, Xbox is crushing it, there's a story to follow shortly afterwards that is devastating, and that's the here and now. And I definitely understand where people are like, hey, listen, like, yeah, this isn't a good look for Phil now, but who's going to be the person that takes over from him? Is it one of Satya's people? All that jazz. I totally understand those conversations, but still in the moment, I just see thousands of people losing their jobs and C-suite executives that are bound to get bonuses at the end of the year that will rival what we ever make in our lifetime.
Right. Warren Henderson asked about Ann Fryer's response video. It's Laura Fryer. I did watch her video. She's one of the founding members of Xbox, was a producer on Gears and such, but she's also a debatably known grifter. And so I tend to not spotlight it as much because I don't know her work well enough to argue against or for that grifting. But I get who's the one? Notch? Is that the Minecraft dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of in that realm. So I've always been a little shady about spotlighting her work because I just don't know well enough because I haven't paid enough attention, Warren. So I'm not ignoring her video. I just don't know enough about Miss Fryer to comfortably say yay or nay about their character. So to just acknowledge that right off the bat, I just don't know, but there is something to it. There's also an element that she makes content to make content. So not knocking her work because clearly it's well,
Yeah.
not a track.
And I've seen the latest video, and she's someone that knows far more than anyone here knows, right? Has that insight and has that knowledge base of decades. At the same exact time, though, I don't know I don't know the conditions in which she left those companies. And even like the conversations that like the experiences that she had with certain people that were like argumentative to her, it just seemed like something that I know I wouldn't take that the way that she did. That's all.
Gotcha. Yeah. Just something to keep in mind, but I'm not ignoring the question or the content made. So
I wanted to jump in real quick and just pose this thought. Talking about Matt Booty and like the management that he has over the Xbox studios and stuff like that, it feels to me that this was something that came from Satya. Like Satya wanted them to shore up any project that wasn't going to hit a timeline or prove that they were going to be able to be profitable soon, right? That would something you guys would agree with. So perhaps, knowing with that kind of mindset, I feel like if we didn't have the studios that were producing some of the stuff that got canceled, like the Perfect Dark, Everwild, stuff like this, I kind of worry what would have gotten killed, because I don't think that they did this because they wanted to get rid of these things. I think that they knew that they had to shore up costs, and that if it weren't for having these projects, having these studios working on these kind of like little inceptions of games and stuff like that, I think the layoffs could have been a hell of a lot worse on projects that are still relatively serving. Like we may not have seen like a fourth game from Obsidian.
Right. I mean, that's the thing when we talk about it. Like I spoke a little bit in the beginning of like the shoulda, woulda, couldas, or what could be, or what like possibly, because you're right. Like what could have been the case if, but it's if, right? Like to me, it's like I'm focused on the here and now, and what the only if that I'm worried about is like, Logan, to your point, what happens a year from now, or a January from now, where we got to shore up more. And it's a year after year or a few months after month of, we have to shore up more money. We got to shore up more money. What if the AI thing, let's be honest, doesn't pan out? Oh God, we got to shore up money. Right? It's like, it's what will Xbox have left from these big things? Were these purchases solely for the IP of, your Call of Duty and your World of Warcraft?
Well, boys, I'm up for a topic change if you guys are.
Yeah, okay. I hit all the points. How Booty have a job? I feel for all these people. Stop defending C executives. Also, to X-Making Gaming's point, Jim Ryan retired just as much as Reggie Fils-Aimé retired out of Nintendo. Let's relax. There you go.
Man,
I would rather have Reggie come back, honestly. Like, I'm not happy with the direction Doug has taken this whole Nintendo of America thing. But
you bought a Switch day one.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I don't support Xbox and all the games that they make, even though I don't necessarily agree with Matt Booty's stuff.
You said you wanted the AI overlords.
That's right. You said warrior robots, and I said you get those bobs out of here. I got it.
All right. Real quick here. Don't forget that Tony Hawk just came out as of today. Really good game, by the way. Really good game. It does a very good job, I think, onboarding you into teaching you how to play skating games. And I'm really enjoying it so far. I've been playing a ton of TMNT Splintered Fate. myself. I think I'm at 28 hours into that game on console, and I've got at least that much on Steam separately. But I've also we got a new season of Marvel Rivals that Joe and I jumped into last night, which is a blast. Enjoying that. Superman came to Fortnite, and we have some listener questions, guys. You want to tackle these bad boys? You want to do this?
Sure.
Yeah, I would like it.
All right. First one comes from Freight Conductor, an amazing supporter of our show. Freight Conductor says, what is your proudest achievement in gaming? Was it an actual achievement, a clutch team wipe for a win, or a particular boss that you beat? I will let you guys think on this one. I have two that stand out. First, I beat Halos 4, and 5, and I know 5 was the biggest and most difficult one, but Halos 4 and 5 on like solo lone wolf, like doing legendary solo. I feel like I did that on Reach as well. But like just tackling Halos on legendary solo is always a big, like it just feels good for me. And then I beat New Game Plus and Hard Mode on Batman Arkham Knight over on my Steam Deck, which was awesome because you get a cool suit, and I'd never done that on consoles before. I was finally able to do that not this summer, but like back in the winter. So
Nice.
Yeah. I beat Elden Ring. That's cool.
I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
I beat it twice in a year, platted it twice. It's fine. It's cool.
Did you plat it twice, or did you load up the save on a different platform?
Listen, I'm not gonna ridiculous statement. And honestly, the fake news media, God, they run with that.
I just want to understand how these trophies really work, because I booted up Sea of Thieves, and I don't have nearly as many trophies.
No
cross progression though. That's the dumb thing, is it actually was.
Not Elden Ring, sir. Not Elden Ring.
Oh, an Elden Ring. Okay.
Yeah. I was Elden Lord twice. PS4, PS5 version. BB.
Are you still maidenless?
Listen. How dare you, dude? Anyway, honestly, every night is a grand achievement when I'm playing Marvel Rivals with the boys. I'm playing with Luke Lohr, my buddy Kev, and Suddy. And just listen, it's an achievement not because I enjoy their company. I absolutely don't. I work so hard to get those wins to become MVP match after match after match after match, and just getting lost in the sauce of being the best Psylocke player in Marvel Rivals.
He's legitimately great at Psylocke, but he gets healed like crazy. I don't want to point fingers, me. So it goes.
He does a decent job. I gotta run around and get some health packs every now and again. You know?
No.
Did they put Blade in there yet?
No, he's mid-season.
God damn,
they just put in Phoenix. Phoenix is in there right now.
I'm not liking her design. I don't like
either.
the fire lady on her shoulder. I don't.
That's Phoenix. It's Jean Grey, and then Phoenix.
Right.
Is next
No, I get it. But like, I'm not digging it. I'm not digging it.
Tavish Hill says the Altars is great, by the way. Food for thought. I haven't played it.
I've not played it yet. I need to. I genuinely need to.
It weirds me out, so I'm saying no.
Tavish's proudest achievement will be when Kojima finally reveals OD online demo for Silent Hills and confirms his 3-year conspiracy theory. Hey, good luck to you, bud. Good luck. OD's not a game.
Do you genuinely think, because there's been a lot of projects on hold, right? Do you think Kojima's one of those one on hold, or do you think his game is still with Xbox?
I think his game is multi-platform.
Right.
I think he's busy working on the director's cut for Death Stranding too.
No, man, this is it. he very much else.
We'll see.
Phenomenal.
Logan, what's your greatest achievement?
I would say Pirate Legend, dude, in Sea of Thieves. There's nothing more special than being able to hit Pirate Legend in Sea of Thieves, and back in the first year, within the first like 6 months of the game's launch, that grind was brutal. It was about as brutal as getting my skeleton curse in Sea of Thieves. Outside of that, dude, going all the way back to World of Warcraft days, thinking about like the first time killing the Lich King in Wrath of the Lich King expansion with a great 25 people on a heroic mode, and just having like wipe after wipe after wipe, spending hours and upon weeks doing the same exact fight, trying to coordinate people, trying to like eke out just a little bit more healing, a little bit more DPS, trying to push phases. There was nothing like trying to do that outside of maybe like Destiny 2 raids where you're trying to hit your crits, you're trying to like stay alive, you're trying to just, eke out as much as you can. Like when you do those team raids with people, it hits different than anything else. I know a lot of folks like they've got their pride about being able to do something with Souls-like games and stuff. I get that, but I get that when I'm playing with other people and we all have to coordinate perfectly for some of that stuff. So I would say like some of my old Warcraft raids when I was doing like server first stuff, top of the game kind of thing, or some of the achievements that I've gotten in Sea of Thieves where it's just like I worked hard to get those wins or get those losses, to get that reputation and stuff. Those are the ones that I look back and I'm like, it was a long time coming. It was a hard effort. But those are the few things, because I don't really care about achievements too much. But those are a couple of things where I'm like, this was important to me to get done.
Nice. Joe and I got a Pirate Legend during COVID. That was one of our big things, which was cool. The challenges for that were a little different than I think when you did it, Logan.
It was much easier in 2020 than it was in
no. 2020 was hard for all of us.
No, for different reasons, though. Some of us had to wear masks, and that's difficult.
Conspiracy. Let's see. Frank Conductor says mine was the Vidmaster achievement in Halo 3 that required to play 4-player online co-op and complete the final mission in Ghosts on Legendary with the Iron Skull on. Joe, we should do that, man. I'm just saying.
Fun.
When it comes to PlayStation, we'll do it.
Hey, have you seen this? Have you heard about this? That like the next Halo remaster is going to be single player only?
Yeah, that's fine. Well, let me back up.
What?
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine.
Sorry,
if it's,
what?
Co-op, like the campaign only, not single player only. I think that might be misreported. It's not single player. It's not going to have competitive multiplayer. That's a different project. That's what I'm understanding it to be right now. Did you hear that?
If there's no online multiplayer for like if the campaign is still co-op, that's good.
So think like Halo Infinite Suite is available everywhere, but the campaign is the campaign. This was a discussion about Gears a few years back also.
So do you think Infinite comes to PlayStation, like in like the multiplayer suite?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I'm not saying it's like the best choice, but I think the Unreal Engine remake, they are pouring resources into that so that they can deliver it next year. Say they deliver it, put it multi-platform, showcase what Halo could be on Unreal Engine, and it's a campaign. That's what I think it is. You know what I mean? Like it's not like you're not playing multiplayer versus, but like if we can go through co-op, fine, cool.
But as a PlayStation player, will I have that suite of like Infinite?
I think you might get Infinite. I don't think you're getting Unreal Engine Halo multiplayer. That's just too big an ask.
Right. No, I don't.
We'll give you 5 too. You can have 5.
Because Infinite genuinely like the best multiplayer of Halo.
Yes. Infinite Suite.
So as long as I get Infinite, like as long as I get some form of multiplayer in there, all right. Cool. We're back on board, boys.
Yeah. And I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. If you give me a campaign that's co-op with my buddies in Halo Unreal Engine and it's Halo CE, and then you get the Infinite Suite is available. Sure. Why not?
Are they gonna make a new voice for the Chief?
Why?
Stephen Downs is getting old.
He's getting old.
He's doing like the touring around on comic conventions and anime conventions still.
But can he do it 10 years from now? That's what happened to the guy that did
they just rolled out Ozzy Osbourne on stage the other day to do Crazy Train. You kidding? Yeah, voices crazy. Don't change.
That's not true. But the guy that did Sam Fisher, like that guy, like whenever he was like, I'm still Sam Fisher. It's like, I don't know.
I mean, you can do stuff to your voice to damage it, but for the most part, voice actors can continue working for a lot longer than face actors.
All right, let's. You're right. We got a few other questions here. Let's go. Pull this one from Red Beast. This one comes from Red Beast. He says, "Is there a game, recent or old, that pulled you into trying a genre that you didn't think would interest you? A gateway game, if you will." Absolutely. I'll start on this one. Darksiders 3 and Jedi Fallen Order both taught me that I could try the Souls experience, which led me to then Elden Ring. It led me to Lords of the Fallen. And so those games taught me that I could play that kind of dodge, parry, timing type thing, because they were those are the lightest of light you could get in the Souls light. And then they kind of took me in and gatewayed me into being able to play Elden Ring and Lords of the Fallen. That was my gateway game.
I got a lot of those.
You guys.
Bloodborne's the ultimate gateway game.
Bloodborne?
To what?
Really?
Never getting a sequel? Crackdown 3.
Oh, you're so funny.
Thanks.
Hey, where were we getting the Justice League again? That's right. Shut up. So anyway, Bloodborne for everything Souls. It's turned me onto that genre so much. So I owe a lot to Bloodborne. That made me hardcore, as the kids say, in my eyes.
Very cool.
I'll toss out The Wolf Among Us as getting into like visual novel games. And then like subsequently Doki Doki Literature Club was a surprising game to play through, because I did not expect that game to be as weird as it is. Outside of that, I'll say the Jedi Fallen games, like the Fallen Order and stuff, got me into more Souls-like ones. Hades for roguelikes. What was it? I can't think of. I think it was Balatro. Like being okay with some games that do like card mechanics, but like Slay the Spire for card mechanics would be another one. Trying to think outside of that, World of Warcraft for MMOs, because I was an RTS guy before then, and if it wasn't for Warcraft moving into the MMO space, I wouldn't be interested in MMOs at all. I'll throw out there Heroes of the Storm as well too for MOBAs. Would have never tried League of Legends or Dota 2 if not for Heroes of the Storm. So there's a lot of firsts, I would say, that have kind of pushed me into genres that I normally wouldn't have ever done. Grounded is a great example, as well as like Rust as far as like survival games. Now I'm looking forward to like checking out other survival games and stuff, because they're ones that, you know, it's still exploration, but it's there's other added things to it. So like I've got a Crosswinds beta test that came out this weekend that I'll hopefully get a chance to jump into. It's like a pirate version of a survival game, kind of like an Atlas but better. So, but yeah, a lot of gateway games being able to pull me in.
Nice. A-Chick says, I never liked survival games until I played Night of the Dead, 7 Days to Die, and now I love survival games. Very cool. Yeah. Nissa Hauer says Flintlock. Not sure what genre.
Action adventure.
Flintlock falls into. Action. Okay. All right, there you go. Tavish Hill saying The Ascent. Gave him enough interest to try top-down style games like isometrics. Very cool. Like Death's Door. Death's Door is great. Diablo 4, great. Elden Ring, awesome. Freight Conductor says, Enter the Gungeon. Sold him on roguelikes. Very cool. Love that. Matt Shaw in chat saying Super Mario RPG is the gateway.
Sorry. So you go. Go
ahead, buddy.
No, nobody speaks on Returnal. Gateway for roguelikes. It's a roguelike. It's really good. She dies, she comes back, and then she fights again. She dies, she comes back, fights again, and then shortly afterwards, Hades for me as well. That's it.
Dude,
that's all I want to say.
Splinter Fate. Splinter Fate is Hades with the skin that I love. It's so good. It's so good. Let's see. I think we have one more that's worth mentioning.
Go back to Shaw's comments. I talked over it because I was rude.
Oh, okay. Matt Shaw says Super Mario RPG is the gateway that for turn-based stuff for them as a kid. Very cool.
Nice.
And taught them arithmetic. Nice.
Nice.
I wonder if you checked out Expedition 33. All right. Freight Conductor had one more question for us. Chat, if you have any questions for us, drop them in there now before we wind down. It says James Gunn has given us a new Suicide Squad, Superman, Peacemaker, and Creature Commandos. How do you feel about the current direction of DCU? Positive. It's really nice. It's nice to be a DC fan and not have to worry about people dumping on something I love. So I'm excited for that.
Yep.
I think
Likewise.
James Gunn is proof that you can make good, interesting content regardless of the IP.
That too.
Because he's, he brought Guardians of the Galaxy to us. Nobody probably cared about Guardians except for the diehard comic book fans, but he made like Rocket and Groot and stuff like a household name for folks. So I would say as long as James Gunn is like heading up projects for DCU will be good. Outside of that, it's Matt Reeves and that's it.
God bless him. God bless Matt Reeves. God,
can't wait for that Batman 2, man.
It's gonna be so good. Yeah, for the first time ever, I'm more optimistic in DC stuff than I have Marvel stuff. Like I'm way more interested about the DC universe than the Marvel one right now. Marvel's run out of juice.
Yeah,
I don't know. It needs
the Fantastic Four doesn't excite you at all.
No, not as much as it does like Superman. Because like the thing is with Marvel at this point in time, it's very much like like this movie will be great, and Thunderbolts was legitimately great. Yeah. But what about the next movie, dude? It's like they're so hit and miss.
Well, so I think they were hit for a very, very long time. Now they're mostly miss. I think it's just we're waiting for that rebound. And then they'll be a hit for a while. Whereas DCU was like misses for most of it. And now we're starting to see like the upswing on that. And now that's why we're like more positive about DCU than we are Marvel, because it's just wherever the creatives are going that they can play around with the IPs that they can.
Yeah. I can't wait
I think Marvel
DCU.
For Marvel, it's like, all right, we're all really just looking forward to seeing the old characters come back for this Doomsday. Like that's a clear indication that they were out of juice.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'd rather have newer stories.
I hope it's Alan Richardson.
Same.
It's probably not, but I hope so.
But dude, he's built like it, man. Like come on, Alan Richardson, let's go.
It's funny to me that after Batfleck taught us that you could have a massive Superman, and he made Bale look small, and Pattinson and Keaton are both like meh by comparison.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready for like jacked Alan Richardson to be like, because did you see that movie with him and Cavill?
Yeah,
where they were next to each other. You're like, good Lord.
It's like you could eat Henry Cavill for lunch and still have room. Yeah, no, I want a beefcake Batman. Goddamn it, I want to see him just go through some walls and just crack some heads. Let's do this. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Put on the cowl.
Oh, this is the Reacher.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, me if I don't know
this guy,
gatekeeper.
Yeah. Relax.
Oh, man.
All righty, guys. Let everybody know what you got coming and where they can find you.
Joe?
Oh, okay, thanks. You can find me. Hi, everybody. No, I'm gonna drop it. Hi, everybody. You can find me over at Mr. Badbit on Blue Sky and the other place. You can find the show, The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast, where me and my two pals talk about the latest and greatest in all things PlayStation each and every week. This week was the biggest episode we ever did. It's literally a Lord of the Rings. So it's either you die a hero or live long enough to see your podcast become the size of a Lord of the Ring. We talk about a whole bunch of stuff, including our Ghost of Yote reactions. It's a good fun time, so get on over there and check it out. And yeah, you can find me us recording the show every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard at the Trophy Room Show on YouTube. It's nice there. We have fun.
I appreciate the content. You can find me. Oh, I actually wanted to. I have yet to go into because I didn't get to watch the Ghost Direct, so I didn't want to watch reactions before I'd gotten a chance to watch it. So I have now that I've gotten to watch it, I was like, oh, okay, now I get to go back and watch the reactions for that stuff. But you can find me over on Blue Sky at Cap Logan. You can find me over on Twitter at Cap Logan. I am going to be putting out a Bandit Trap preview that is coming out soon. I'm working on the edit right now. Outside of that, I'm going to be working on the next preview for Lumines, which is buddy CJ gave us a preview over that from SGF, and I really want to get that out there for folks that haven't gotten a chance to check that out, because that will be a fun game for people to play. Even if it's mostly going to be on like PlayStation for the most part, but really cool.
What are you talking about? It's out everywhere.
Well, but I mean, they mostly do stuff like they've got PSVR 2 support, they've got PlayStation Pro support, but it'll be other places as well.
I can't wait to play that game, man.
Yeah,
That's
really fun.
Oh, it's so good.
So, but yeah, outside of that, Keelhauled is going to be my Sea Thieves podcast that's coming out probably Monday. And then again, I'll be on PTK Lamb's the Shop podcast tomorrow. And if possible, I will do something to get Luke's attention.
I don't know what that means.
I won. There we go.
Okay.
He got him. He got him, you guys.
I was listening.
What a dumb fool.
It's weird that you guys can't do two things at once. You normies.
I keep fidgeting with that spin of yours. Come on.
All right. All right. You can find me on Blue Sky at Insipid Ghost. Please like the show, share it to those you think would enjoy it. Rising tides lift all boats. It helps us out tremendously. That's going to be it for us. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Take care.